Hi everyone, it's Todd Fryatt. I'm the CEO and founder of ECA Solar. Today we're going to touch on briefly the BBB Act that was signed into law on Friday, July 4th, as well as the executive order by the President, which was issued the night of Monday, July 7th. First off, the statute itself, which is the most important. We can start construction or other solars that work in the commercial space, including utility scale space, can start construction by the end of this year, end of 25. From that point, they'd have 4 years to place that system in service. At the end of this year, you avoid any restrictions on using Chinese equipment, what we refer to as foreign entities of concern. For some reason, this administration has decided, and Congress has decided, that if the solar industry uses Chinese equipment, it's a real problem. But if other industries such as cell phones, computers, cameras, oil and gas, if they use Chinese equipment, it's fine. After this year, you can still start construction within 12 months of the passing of this new law. FEOC will apply, the Chinese restrictions will apply. However, you will have 4 years to interconnect that system and place it in service. We also learned that after that, after the 1-year anniversary and you start construction then, that's okay as well. However, the system needs to be placed in service by the end of 2027. And the last point I'll make on the BBBA Act is that on the tax equity and tax credit side, transferability was preserved. And for the most part, the ITC adders were also preserved with a few little wrinkles there. Now, on Monday, July 7th, the President issued an executive order. Basically what that executive order said is he's ordering the U.S. Treasury to issue new revised guidelines on the start of construction, the beginning of construction. But there's a couple guardrails in place. We're going to talk about those and some of the benefits of moving forward with Safe Harbor now and in the future. Number one, if you've already purchased Safe Harbor equipment in the 22 era, 23, or 2024, that is under the old Section 48 regime. The new BBB Act does not apply to that, and the new executive order also does not apply to that. They typically apply to Section 48E, the tech neutral tax credits, and 45Y, just on the face of the statute and the executive order. So you're basically in a safe zone. It's very simple. There seems to be unanimous consent on that for those old regime Section 48 projects. Number two, if you've purchased Safe Harbor this year, 2025, before the new law has been signed and before the new executive order even came out, it's highly likely that you will be protected and that this new law will not be retroactive. For the most part, over the last 40 years, and Keith Martin and others have weighed in on this, tax law is applied proactively, not being put in a time machine and applied retroactively. Why? Because American taxpayers and American businesses rely on the laws that are in place. They change their economic position and they make important decisions on things like purchases, capital allocation, construction, and others. So for the most part, you should be okay there. We'll wait to see what's in the new guidance on or before August 18th from the Treasury. Third, there's a thing called the Supremacy Clause in the U.S. Constitution. It's in Article 6. What does it mean? It means that essentially the United States Constitution, as well as United States statutes, are the highest and most supreme law of the land. There's all types of laws and regulations that are subordinate to the U.S. statutes and constitutions. One of those would be an executive order. Everything defaults to the Constitution and the statute. If there is a direct contradiction, the statute wins. If there is a direct contradiction, of course, the Constitution will always win. Within the four corners of the BBB Act itself, there's a number of very helpful tools there. So first off, there's a direct citation to the existing guidelines. The statute itself says any future rules and guidelines must be similar and consistent with IRS Rule 2018-59 and IRS Rule 2013-29. That is within the four corners of the statute. That is already baked in, and it creates guardrails from what the U.S. Treasury can legally do and cannot legally do. We think that's a good thing. These are long-standing rules and regulations. The most recent one that's cited here in the statute was passed during Trump's first administration. That's 2018-59, with very, very detailed pages and pages of regulations on what it means to begin construction, what it means to safe harbor, and the physical work test. All in all, if you take all these things together, I think the solar industry will remain strong and in a good position for many years to come. Let's see how it looks come August 18th. Look forward to hearing from you all.